Hello. On a whim, I decided to record myself playing some Star Trek Online, and randomly enough, FRAPS decided not to record my voice while I was doing that. Definitely had it plugged in, not sure what was going on there, but I decided to use this as an opportunity to practice post-commentary. I did the mission called Secret Orders. It's a fairly early mission, I believe, and I recall hearing it was unnecessarily difficult, and slow, and kind of annoying. Slow part definitely holds up, which is going to be the reason why there's going to be a fair amount of fast-forwarding, especially in these space sections. As you can see, we're in the Briar Patch, and, well, yeah. Basically, our objective here is to go around and destroy some Klingon self-replicating things. Basically, we have to destroy targets that can't fend for themselves too well. One of the other annoying parts, or one of the supposedly annoying parts, is the Metreon gas, which are basically pockets of gas that will explode and do, quite frankly, rather rude amounts of damage to your ship. Now, there is a green circle indicator that's supposed to show where you're searching for your targets. Despite that actually kind of ended up throwing me off. I thought I should have been going towards that, and it ended up I was supposed to just be going the direction I came in facing. Obviously, eventually I managed to find someone, and the turret thingy that he was guarding. And then I promptly ran into the fact that it had been a while since I played Star Trek Online, and I kind of had to remember how to space battle right. Anyway, it was around this time that I remembered that I was supposed to not just let him hit me from one direction, and that I was in fact supposed to have as many of my weapons going on him, on his one side, as possible. Which is, to be entirely honest, rather obvious. Shouldn't have taken me more than a minute, or more than a second even, to remember. Oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, if I'm not mistaken, yes, so, that little multi-torpedo launch thing there, is one of the special abilities I have, probably that anyone at this point in the game would have. However, basically, normally I'd fire one torpedo, and that allows me to fire more than one. And speaking of things which are obvious, the goal here in any space battle is to first lower your enemy shields by firing at them, and then by pounding their hull into oblivion. Which, honestly, sometimes takes a while, so we're going to fast forward till this is over. You can more easily see the flow battle that I use, just kind of sweep around the different weapon arcs, so you also sweep around your shield arcs, and rinse, you wash, you repeat, eventually you win. course, we still have to destroy the actual objective, the Klingon turret thingy. Which, to be honest, we've kind of flown a teeny bit away from. And there we go. I don't believe these ever actually managed to fight back at me. Maybe if I'd gone into closer range, but I'm assuming that despite being turrets, they're pretty much defenseless. Definitely don't have shields, so hey. And now we need to do that all over again. But first, a bit of scanning. Found an antimatter sample, which you wouldn't think would be that rare in the Star Trek universe, given what the Federation's ships run on. It's antimatter. And we're fast forwarding again because the Briar Patch. Now, I managed to do something completely stupid here, and instead of continuing to go forward, I decided I'd turn back around and go towards the green circle again. It really didn't particularly work out for me. I did figure it out eventually, though. And, you know what they say, slow and steady and a healthy dose of fast forwarding wins the race. Also scanning. And then I found the turret. Guess I decided to switch it up a bit. I destroyed that before I destroyed the ship it was guarding. And that is another interesting part of this mission. That Metreon gas thingy kind of popped up right in front of me. They have a tendency to explode without even being shot at when you get near them. And I managed to shoot it when I was right on top of it. I got a little bit punished for that. My goal apparently went all the way down to 27-ish%. And then I still have to fight this guy. Stay. My ship had gotten pretty damaged from there. But besides that, it didn't really affect me, so it ends up just being a normal battle. It's been unfortunate. Well, I guess technically it's fortunate, but it would have been funny if this game had the thing Bridge Commander did, where okay, well, that battle's over. Bridge Commander had a thing where you could have chunks taken out of your spaceship and still, once you were repaired, be running perfectly normally. Yeah, it's rather impressive how effective our repair crew is. They were able to fix every bit of external damage while they were being shot at, and they stayed invisible. Definitely good quality to have in a repair crew. Anyway, our new objective, apparently we detected a base of sorts on a completely unnaturally shaped bit of asteroid. Wonder if there's a relation there. Anyway, we have to go destroy its defensive structures and random pockets of Metreon gas, and then we want to beam down to investigate. The reason there's a bunch of slow traveling in this mission is because the thing about the Briar Patch is you need to go slower than you otherwise would want to, because that way there's arbitrary environmental challenges. That blue spammy laser thing I did there is a thing which disables the other person's sensors, or in other words, they can't actually attack you for a period of time. It's fun. Anyway, these defenses do actually fire back at you. However, they don't have shields, and they're stationary, so they still get blown up very easily. Which is nice of them, really. And you are dead, sir. See that cloud of Metreon gas? I really shouldn't have shot it just then. But hey, smart decisions are for actual starship commanders. I'm kind of a sucker for the refit Constitution class. Just looks cool, which I suppose is the point. Eh. And now a Vorka class. Fairly certain that's how it's pronounced. Fairly certain. No idea what the statistics of this particular class are, so I kind of just use the same strategy I always do. I don't know. Star Trek always uses a sort of sea metaphor for space travel. And I mean, you know, in these fights I kind of like to pretend that I'm doing things I read on Wikipedia about old-style naval warfare, about like crossing T's and like, you know, having sails that the wind blows on. That last part isn't entirely true, but, you know, naval terms I picked up on Wikipedia. Whee! I guess you technically need more than 2 ships to do any sort of crossing the T maneuver. This goes on for a while, so obviously it's being sped up. I think the sped up sound effects sound kind of funny. It's like the little toys. And then the other guy kind of got flipped into the wall, which is strange, but fortunately it didn't actually affect the battle. The thing I was saying about crossing the T, basically, educational bit, there's this thing where 2 enemy fleets would be trying to get each other to line up in a straight line, which would, like, from their front to back sort of thingy. And then the other guys would go across them so they could all shoot them from their side bits. But the guys in the line couldn't because they would have hit each other, and also didn't have front-facing weapon bits. So, yeah. You may have learned something just there, or you may have been completely confused. Not sure that crew indicator means. I think it says that I don't have much crew, but as you can see there, it was coming up very quickly. I'm guessing my crew is triples. And of course I managed to fly myself way back away from the place again, so I have to travel all the way back. Just one more defensive structure to take out here, and we are golden. I'm sure you missed nothing by my pointing the camera in that direction. Anyway, our objective now is to beam down and investigate. And by investigate, we mean shoot things. Naturally. Of course, it also turns out that there are non-Klingon life signs here. Apparently, they are holding hostages. Anyway, so this is my bridge crew here. Got a couple of Andorians, a Trill, and a Bolian, I believe. Yeah. Don't actually recall their names offhand. Well, most of their names. But the female Andorian lady is my first officer, and the female Trill is wearing a mini skirt, or a skirt of some sort, because, well, because I'm simple, but I totally made it work. It usually, I mean, skirts do not come in standard with that kind of uniform. So, I'm just going to claim artistry. That's totally something I can claim. We saw just there is my ground strategy. I just stand in place and let everyone else do all the work. And I just take pot shots at everyone. Anyway, so what we saw here, they're hostages or scientists, and they're complaining about the fact that they actually have to do their jobs. And well, we certainly can't let the Klingons be mean and expect them to do what they're being paid to do, so we kill all of them. It's the natural thing to do, right? It's space. And again, me just being cheap, even if that didn't necessarily help much, it made me feel good. Okay, so I'm calling my people back here because I laid some sort of special mine ability that I have. So, by having everyone move back, Klingons followed us, ran into the mines, because despite the fact that they are really freaking visible, they didn't see them. And, you might notice Deborah. Deborah's the Bolian, and, well, you know, she's new, she's nervous, and she has a fire extinguisher. Of course, before talking to the scientists, I do need to make sure I get all the loot, so we'll just go through this quickly. I mean, I'm sure whatever they have to say, it's not that important. It can wait. Basically, what's going on is, the Klingons have employed scientists in some entirely legitimate research, and obviously, once every individual scientists were done with their jobs, they were allowed to leave. However, the scientists here are both lazy and expect to be paid for nothing, so basically, it's basic. Now, a hallway, a fight, and some looting. Okay, so what these scientists were being employed to create were admittedly weapons, which honestly, the Federation has weapons, there's nothing wrong with the Klingons having weapons, but our goal is to blow the Klingons' weapons up, and to fight. And of course we're speeding up because there's an entire room full of Klingons and weapons. So, the fire extinguisher. It's actually native to cargo ships, or something. But yeah, Deborah's first array mission, she insisted on having that fire extinguisher because, I don't know, I think it reminded her of home. She gets rather excited, and I mean, she's entirely capable of switching to phaser. But but you do a well to the fire extinguisher to remind yourself of the futility of fire. Now Osab, the male Andorian, and one of our away team members, managed to hail us from the bridge, which raises questions. However, apparently we can take the Klingons' data on the weapons that they've been developing and upload it. Gee, you think we're going to have to defend ourselves while this uploads? Because if you do, you'd be right. And also there's a cloud floating above the computer, which, to be entirely honest, is weird. Wait, that was surprisingly easy for trying to defend classified data. And turns out this was actually a trap, a completely convoluted trap to get specifically me here, and then apparently blow up the station, even though there's absolutely no indication that any self-destruct has been activated. We have to go all the way back and fight the suicidal Klingons on the supposedly self-destructing space station. And on the bright side, we get to blow up doors as well. Something you don't often get to do in real life, unlike many of the activities depicted in Star Trek Online. Now, I don't particularly mind repetitive action games, as long as they're not too repetitive, but really, why did we have to go through the entire thing in reverse? Okay, well, with all of that taken care of, we can beam back up. Though, as you will see, Gierer, the Trill Lady, manages to teleport to the bridge entirely by herself and probably by magic. And now, our new goal is to stop the Klingons from escaping. Of course, they're already a ways away, so guess what we get to do? You guessed right. Fast forward. On the bright side, the briar patch is a pleasant shade of sickly yellow, so at least there's something to look at. And we finally reached the Klingon ship. They got away. Now, to be honest, I did have some fun with this fight. There was a bunch of nifty dodging around asteroids and, you know, shooting. But then again, as I said, I don't particularly mind repetitive action games. Patch gives us a bit of a going away present. I'm sure it's gonna miss us. sent yet another batch of Klingons to Stovokor, we have finished the mission. I honestly didn't think it was as bad as I had been told it was going to be. That particular report was in 2010, but hey. See you next time.